we're live at the Cat Kanavos Show with your host, Cat Kanavos.
Welcome to the Cat Kanavos Show, everyone. I am your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but my friends all call me Cat, so I hope you will too. And I am the author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life with Dr. Larry Burke, and we have another author with us tonight. And our guest tonight is Karen Noe, and she is the founder of the Angel Quest Center in New Jersey, an internationally sought-after medium, spiritual counselor, healer, and author of the book we're going to be talking about today, We Consciousness, 33 Profound Truths for Inner and Outer Peace. Welcome to the show, Karen.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
So, Karen, I was going over all your information and it just kind of blew me away. So, I am going to start your story and then I'm going to let you go in and finish it. So you are an internationally renowned psychic medium with a 2-year for the past 2 decades. So that's for 20 years you've been doing this. And you have a 2-year client waiting list. And you were a very deep admirer of Dr. Wayne Dyer, who just passed away a couple of years ago. And his teachings truly transformed your life. And then when you were called down to I Can Do It conference in Orlando, Florida, something really profound happened. Tell us about it.
Yes. I was scheduled to speak about my prior book, Your Life After Their Death. And the day before that, they were having a tribute to Dr. Dyer. So they had a bus with the authors on it and Wayne Dyer's family on it. So I'm sitting on the bus to go from the conference center from the hotel to the conference center. And I'm sitting on the bus and there's only one seat available on the whole bus and it happens to be next to me. And in walks Serena Dyer, which is one of Wayne Dyer's children, and she sits down next to me. And we started to connect. And at that time, I just said, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. And we were just connecting like that. And I asked her if she received any signs from him. And she said her sister had a very profound dream. And we were talking, and that was pretty much it at that time. So we went to the tribute. And then right after that, I decided to walk back to the conference center instead of taking the bus because I didn't feel good enough. So I said, I'm very insignificant. I was saying in my mind, I'm very insignificant. And that's when Wayne Dyer came through for the first time.
So let me get this. You didn't feel good about what? You didn't feel like you deserved to ride on the bus with all these special people? Is that
Correct.
it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're all my favorite authors, even though I'm a nurse myself and, all of that. And I'm sitting on this bus and, I said, forget it. I'm not going to take the bus. I'm walking back and I'm saying over and over to myself, I'm so insignificant. I'm so insignificant. And with that, I heard him first time. And he told me, he said, get out of your own way. So I asked him for a sign if that was really him.
Mm-hmm. And what was the sign that you got?
So I said, Wayne, you have to give me a sign to let me know it truly is you. And I said, how may I serve? Because he used to say to ask, how may I serve? And the universe works in ways to conspire to serve you as well. Mm-hmm. So I went back to the hotel room and there was something very itchy inside of my shirt. So I reached in to grab it and I pulled out a sticker that had somehow attached itself to the inside of my shirt. And on the sticker, it said W-E on it. I thought it meant Wayne, first letter, last letter of his name. And then I heard him saying, is that good enough? I said, yeah, that's great. But little did I know it was so much more than that. It was going to tell me later on about the We Consciousness.
Oh, and that is the title of your book, We Consciousness. So, how do I'm going to play a little bit of the devil's advocate here. How do we know, or how do you know that these messages are real and that they're not just something that you're coming up in your mind?
Well, It's a very long story, but I know we only have a short time. But he has 8 children and a wife, and they all came to, 3 of the daughters and his wife came to see me in New Jersey from Florida. They flew in, and he gave each of them very profound, very specific messages that only they would know, very personal messages. In the back of We Consciousness, we had an appendix, and they shared what they wanted to share about that. But things that I would never know about Wayne Dyer, about his personal life. And with that said and done, when he came through separately in cooperation with a group consciousness called the We Guides, which included St. Francis of Assisi and angels and ascended masters and him. And they decided to give me 33 profound truths about peace, which is so important in this world right now. But It all started with connecting with his family and proof that he was really connecting with his family.
Mm-hmm. And so is there anything that you can share with us, excuse me, that wouldn't interfere with what you're doing, that to show us, what did he do to show them?
Yes, absolutely. The things that the Dyers shared, I'll be able to share. During the first appointment, when they were all there, he spoke to them all differently. He spoke to Serena more loudly and Sky softer, and they said that's the way he talked to them at that time. They all made sense, these private messages, but one of them, he said that Serena was pregnant, and he showed me fireworks, and she had a flat belly. She just had a child, and she said, "No, I'm not pregnant. I just had a baby." And I said, "That's what he's saying. He's saying 4th of July. I don't know what that means." So she went home and took a pregnancy test, and she was indeed in the family way due on the 4th of July.
Oh, my goodness.
There was many messages like that. If I could share 2 more.
Mm-hmm, yes.
That it really was him. His son, Sands, he has a son as well. He has two sons. But after the initial event, I was connecting with his family for a couple of years. I was on the phone with 3 or 4 of them, once or twice each week, and he would say, "Call them now, call this one now, call that one now," and I'd say, "I'm doing this, call him now." Well, I went to the bank, and when I came back one day, an email that had Sands and I had been corresponding back and forth with a year prior to that just somehow appeared on my screen. So I know what he does. He creates these things to help me to connect with his children. So I said, I guess I'm supposed to connect with Sands. So I texted Sands and I said, "Sands, I don't know how, but your email from a year ago just appeared on my screen for no reason. I think your dad wants us to connect." And he said, "Oh my God, I just was asking my dad for a sign." He said he was sitting on the plane. He was moving from Florida to Maui, and he wanted to know if it was a good move. And he asked his dad to give him a sign. And with that appeared on my screen. I called him, and his dad said it's a wonderful, he should be moving to Maui. It was a good thing. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I could go on and on. I was cooking one day, and he said, "Call Serena now, call her now, call her now." And I said, "I'm cooking, call her now." And I call her, she's not answering the phone. So I called her sister Sage, and I said, "What's going on with Serena?" And she said, "She's giving birth right now. She's ready to push." And I'm in the room with her. I said, "Could you give her the phone?" And she gave her the phone, and Wayne said, "Daddy's here, Daddy's here." So at the exact moment that she was ready to give birth, ready to push.
Oh, so, my goodness. Yeah.
Types of messages. So they were very, very profound, very specific, right on time, whatever was going on at the time.
Yeah. So were you that close with Dr. Wayne Dyer when he was alive?
I did not. I was a huge fan of his, but I did not know him personally. I went to his events, I read his books, and I just thought the world was never going to be the same again after he passed away. Mm-hmm. But little did I know he was loud in life. He's even louder now that he passed.
It didn't stop. Yeah. That's amazing. So, you've got 33 profound truths and messages in your book. Is there any truth or message that you can share with our listeners that's for them, a universal one?
Well, the most important truth is that we are all one, and that oneness includes everyone and everything, including every human being, animals, nature, and we're one with God as well. And the whole point of this whole thing is whatever we do to oneself or another, it affects the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we have to understand that if we want to make a difference in the world, all we have to do is raise our vibration. So it's more on par with the energy of who we really are, which is God within us. And when we do that, we raise the consciousness of the whole planet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I believe that. Yes, I really do. So how did it come about, though, that you decided to write? You wrote this book with the Dyer family, right? How did you come about to do that?
It's a long story. It's not with the Dyer family. The Dyer family was a series of messages with them, but it was the first New Year's Eve after I connected with Dyers. It was about 8 p.m. I couldn't stay awake from midnight. I decided to take a nap. So I'm lying down, and then I felt Wayne come through, for me. And he said, now's the time to do what you came on earth to do. And I immediately knew what that was. That was to promote peace on earth.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Am I going to be channeling this whole book with you? And he said, yes and no. I said, I don't know what that means. What do you mean? He said he was going to join forces with a group consciousness called the We Guides. And that included St. Francis of Assisi, Ascended Masters, the angels. And they were going to be giving me 33 truths about raising the vibration of the planet. And when I asked him why 33, he said 33 symbolizes divine guidance and the spiritual uplifting of all of creation.
Mm-hmm. 33 is powerful numbers. Tell us a little bit about these We Guides. Have you spoken to any of them? Have you seen any of them? Have you seen them in your dreams?
They don't come as, I don't see them. They're a collective consciousness, and it's hard to differentiate one from the other when they come through together. They come as thoughts. When I'm a psychic medium, as we talked about before. When messages come, they often come as just thoughts. They speak to us telepathically. People expect to hear a voice, expect to see an apparition of what they look like, but in reality, they are spirit. So they don't come as a physical manifestation. Mm-hmm. They come as thoughts and things like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm all about dreams. So have dreams played in any of this for you? How?
Not throughout this, but all my life I've had very profound dreams of things that would happen before they did, and precognitive dreams and so forth. Mm-hmm. So they're very, that comes to you when you're relaxed. That's the best way that they could come through to you. But with this particular consciousness, it was pretty much when I was relaxing, when I was going for walks with my dog in nature. I would have my cell phone, and the messages would come, and I would have my cell phone, and I would record it. So I didn't.
Great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah.
Do you keep a dream journal or anything by your bed in case you have profound dreams?
Oh, I do. But they're nothing related to this, but absolutely. Mm-hmm. So it's usually very subconscious. You could tell what these dreams mean. Mm-hmm. You have the dream. It's not necessarily what it is. It's a symbol of something else.
Mm-hmm. So tell us, how can we find your book? And can you hold it up for us while you tell us how to find it?
Well, you see, it's the We Consciousness, and you could find it in any major bookstore, Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, my website, KarenNoe.com. That's KarenNoe.com.
Okay. And are you going to be anywhere that our audience could come and see you? Are you speaking somewhere or doing an engagement?
Yes, I just got back from traveling to Omega and the ARE in Virginia Beach with the Dyers. We were traveling together, talking about the We Consciousness. So we just finished that. Next year, I'll be back at Omega and the ARE as well. And I have a center in New Jersey where I teach classes as well.
Well, that's just amazing. So, one more time, give us your website where our audience can find you.
It's www.KarenNoe.com.
Thanks a million. So, any last thoughts for our audience? Got about 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
It goes fast.
I would tell people that we can make a difference, each of us. Everyone that's listening to this can make a difference in this world. All we need to do is to understand that we are all one, and to treat each other with the respect that they deserve. Treat ourselves with respect as well. Try to see through the eyes of each person that you meet, because in reality, they are you. I know it's hard to understand that when we're in a physical body, because it feels like you're over there and I'm over here. But after we pass, we go through a life review where we're able to see the bigger perspective and see through the other person's eyes. as if we are the other person. Because guess what? We are. So let's make a difference in this world, create peace on earth, and we can each do it, each one of us.
So I'm going to ask our audience if you're watching us live and you also get guidance from deceased loved ones with voices, tell us, leave us a little message right there in the comments for the Facebook page, and we'll check it out when the show is over. I want to thank you so much, Karen, for being on the show with us today. And our audience, join us again next Tuesday, same time, same place. And tomorrow I do have a guest as well. So 5 to 5:30, I think it is, on the Cat Kanavos Show right here. Tune in. Thank you again, Karen, for being with us. And good night, everyone.
Thank you.